Welcome back to Wrestling World. Today we'll be looking at some interesting theories as well as some good news for the Trish Stratus vs. Sasha Banks dream matchup. So let's get into the wrestling news. Starting things off with the woman in Seth Rollins' Greater Good faction. Seth Rollins' Greater Good faction started the year off strong with a total of 4 members. It looked like a well-established group with the AOP, Murphy, and Seth Rollins as the main lead. It was 4 scary members that really looked like the next biggest faction in WWE, but things quickly fell apart for the Greater Good. The AOP was injured several months back and was in the recovery process, but unfortunately, WWE released the AOP just a few weeks ago, so they definitely won't be returning to the Greater Good faction. That left Seth Rollins and Murphy as the only remaining members of the group. Rollins and Murphy did recruit Austin Theory for a while, but they abandoned him, and now Theory is back in NXT, so that didn't work either. The Greater Good has really only been Rollins and Murphy for a while now, and everyone's wondering if the group is ever getting another new member. Other fans are even wondering if the faction even exists anymore because of what Rollins has been doing to Murphy. Rollins has been attacking Murphy after matches for several weeks in a row right now. But with Murphy being so loyal to Seth Rollins, he never leaves Seth's side and is always there for him the following week. We discussed a few weeks back how Rollins breaking up with Murphy could be used as a storyline explanation for when Seth takes his WWE hiatus near the time of Becky's deliverance. But new reports claim that Seth Rollins and Murphy aren't breaking up. With the Murphy character being so brainwashed by Rollins, he probably sees the attack as lessons and tough love, so he won't leave Seth's side. This brings us to the introduction of the woman in Seth's group. For this fan theory and idea, the woman in the group would be Aalyah Mysterio. We talked a few days ago about how WWE planted the early seeds for a Murphy and Aalyah relationship on Raw. But according to new rumors and theories, Aalyah and Murphy's relationship could get even deeper than that, with Aalyah showing interest in Murphy and Murphy obviously never leaving Seth Rollins' side. The new idea is, what if Murphy convinces Aalyah to join the Greater Good? Seth Rollins won't turn Aalyah down at all. Seth would be thrilled to have Aalyah in his group, because that's another thing to shove in Rey Mysterio and Dominic's face. Seth wouldn't be able to stop bragging about having Aalyah with him. After all that has happened to the Mysterio family from the hands of Seth Rollins and Murphy, they're still able to get Aalyah to join them. I'm a little on the fence with this theory. It can work, but they have to know where they want to go with it. WWE can't pull off this classic move of doing something drastic in a storyline and have no idea where they want to go with it. If that's the case, then no, I don't want to see this. But if they have a good general direction for Aalyah being in the Greater Good, then I think it could work. It's sort of similar to the old theory everyone had with Dominic. Everyone believed that Dominic would have turned on his father, Rey Mysterio, and joined the Greater Good himself, with Dominic using the excuse that he wanted to break away from his father, be his own person, and not be in Rey's shadow. Dominic would have attacked Rey Mysterio, basically writing his father off of television and continuing his main roster career as a member of Seth's faction. It honestly made sense. It's that same sort of thing Charlotte Flair always talked about. You don't want to be just known as Ric Flair's daughter, Rey Mysterio's son, or Rey Mysterio's daughter. You want to make a name for yourself and have people actually know your name. So that's why I felt like Dominic would have had a legitimate reason to turn on Rey, because he just wanted to break away from being Rey's son. But now the roles have flipped. We're seeing the early signs of Aalyah being the one to possibly betray her family and align herself with Seth Rollins. What will Aalyah's reasoning be, though, for her sudden change of heart towards Murphy and Seth? Aalyah can't say anything like, well, you guys were bullies. You were beating Murphy down for no reason. I'm not trying to hear any of that from Aalyah's character, because she did play a big part in that Murphy beatdown a few weeks ago on Raw. So she can't say, I felt bad for him, he's innocent, or anything like that, because I'm not buying it. Now, if they would have done something where Aalyah didn't hit Murphy with the kendo sticks that week on Raw, then it would have made more sense. What if Aalyah was the only Mysterio family member that didn't hit Murphy with the kendo sticks and just refused to hit him? Now, that would have been interesting because then she would have a valid case to say to her family that they were the ones being brutal to him. But the fact that Aalyah took part in that Murphy beatdown is what makes this relationship and direction with Murphy so hard to predict. What can Aalyah actually say that will validate her decision to join Murphy and Rollins? It may make no sense for her to join the greater good, but honestly, that's the only way you can keep this feud going. Now, Rey and Dominic will have this new objective, a new energy to go after Rollins and Murphy again for brainwashing Aalyah. Rey and Dominic will feel that urgency to rescue Aalyah from Seth Rollins. Just imagine all the things Seth Rollins could make Aalyah do to her family, because he is a pretty sick character. Seth Rollins can beat down Rey and Dominic, then finish the attack by having Aalyah hit the entire Mysterio family with kendo sticks. That can be a great full circle moment for Aalyah. From hitting Murphy with the kendo sticks to hitting her family with the kendo sticks. The Seth Rollins character is so manipulative that it's not impossible to see him brainwashing Aalyah into believing that her family are the bad guys here. In conclusion, I think it's interesting. I think it sort of makes Aalyah her own individual person and break away from being the quiet baby sister in the family. I think turning on them in this magnitude gives Aalyah all the opportunity to just showcase that she's a star on her own. So it'll be interesting to see this play out on Raw. Trish Stratus vs. Sasha Banks has been something fans have been buzzing about for well over 2 years now. Trish and Sasha had a quick engagement during the Women's Royal Rumble match a few years ago, and fan speculations took off from there. Everyone wanted to see that match between Trish and Sasha. Trish did return later that year for Evolution, but was advertised to have a match with Alexa Bliss. Sasha voiced her displeasure with this WWE decision because she felt like it should have been her in that spot. That was the perfect time to have her match with Trish. Trish returned the following year, but she returned to face Charlotte in her last retirement match. So that's 2 times that WWE has gone with someone else other than Sasha Banks to wrestle Trish Stratus. Despite her match with Charlotte being labeled as her retirement match, Trish has probably come out of retirement like 5 times now, dating back to her original retirement in 2006. The hype and speculation hasn't gone down for this matchup. Trish was a guest on WWE's The Bump this week and had this to say about the Sasha Banks matchup. I love and respect Sasha so much. I love her in-ring work. Would I love to taste that? Yes, I would. Look, here's the thing. People are buzzing about Sasha and I. We basically had a 5-minute interaction at Royal Rumble. That was what began the buzz. That's been 2 years straight of people buzzing about it and dreaming and hoping. As a wrestling fan, do I think this is intriguing? Absolutely. I think it's a pretty awesome idea, to be honest. That's all I gotta say about that, guys. So that's a great sign by Trish Stratus. Despite her multiple retirements in years past, it looks like the Sasha Banks matchup is so intriguing to her that she would consider it. Sasha has even gone on record to say that she still wants to face Trish at Evolution 2, if that event even takes place. What are your thoughts on the storyline idea we talked about for Aalyah joining the greater good? What do you think of Trish's comments as well? Do you think the match could still be happening? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.